Welcome to Nocturnal Knowledge. Imagine a city teeming with life, the wealthiest city in the ancient world, where golden chariots gleam in the sun and unimaginable riches are displayed in its bustling markets. Yet, within these very walls, a chariot builder named Bansir sits in despair, his purse as empty as the desert sky is vast. His problem is not a lack of skill or a shortage of hard work. It is a problem of knowledge, a problem as old as civilization itself, the curse of a lean purse. What if the secrets to overcoming the struggle were not complex formulas, but simple, timeless truths? What if the path from poverty to prosperity was carved onto clay tablets thousands of years ago, waiting to be rediscovered? In the next hour, we will sit at the feet of Archide, the richest man in all of Babylon, and learn the 7 simple cures and the 5 laws of gold that transformed him from a humble scribe into a master of wealth. These are the foundational principles that have guided fortunes for centuries. If you are ready to uncover this ancient wisdom and apply it to your own life, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more deep dives into the world's most influential books. Our story and our lessons begin now. The problem of the lean purse. This book takes us back to old Babylon. It talks about a problem people have always had and still do today: not having enough money. Imagine Babylon a long time ago. We meet Bansir, a chariot builder. He was good at his job, working hard with wood and metal, making great chariots. But even after all that work, he's not in his shop. He's sitting on a wall, looking sad at his house, stuck on a problem. His wife keeps looking at him from the door, reminding him the food is almost gone. A half-built chariot waits for him. A rich customer needs it. Bansir needs the money. But he just sits there, a big, strong guy, paralyzed. He's not lazy, he works hard, but he never gets ahead. Then he hears a liar. His friend, Kabi, a musician, walks up smiling. After a quick hello, Kabi gets to the point. "Hey, your purse must be full since you're not working. Can you lend me 2 shekels until tonight? I need them for the feast." Bansir answered sadly, "If I had 2 shekels, I couldn't lend them to anyone, not even you. That would be all my money. Nobody lends all their money, even to their best friend." This is where the story gets real. These guys weren't lazy, they were skilled, they worked hard, but Bansir says after half a lifetime of hard labor, both their wallets were empty. They worked long hours, spent what they earned, and only dreamed of money. They lived in Babylon, the richest city in all the world, with much display of wealth, but they had none of it. Pretty wild, right? To be around so much wealth, but have nothing yourself. Why was Bansir so down? He said it felt like a torment from the gods. It started with a dream where he felt rich. His belt was heavy with coins. He gave money to beggars, bought nice things for his wife and himself. He had gold, so he wasn't afraid to spend silver. He felt great, totally content. His wife even looked happy, so free from wrinkles, shining with happiness. Imagine feeling that good, that free. But then he woke up. His wallet was empty. The dream felt so real, and the reality hit hard. He felt a rebellion inside him. He was tired of working so hard for so little. "Let's talk, Kabi," Bansir told him. "We're in the same boat." They asked a question people still ask today. Why can't we get silver and gold, enough for more than just food and clothes? They were so unhappy being poor, even though they worked hard. Bansir worried their sons would end up just like them, surrounded by Babylon's riches, but only having sour goat's milk and porridge to eat. This wasn't just about them. They wanted to break that cycle. Bansir wanted to be rich, own land, fine clothes, and money. He was ready to work super hard for it, but he wanted his work to pay off. Kabi wanted a lyre big enough that it may truly sing the strains of music he imagined. They both wanted more than just survival. They wanted to live up to their potential. While they talked, a line of sweaty water bearers walked by, bent under heavy water skins. Bansir said, "Feel bad for those guys, Kabi." Kabi answered with a tough truth, "I do, but you just made me realize we're not much better off, even if we call ourselves free." Pretty eye-opening, right? To work for years, living slavish lives, working, getting nowhere. They earned money, but it just went out as fast as it came in. They just didn't get how money worked. But then a light bulb went off. Kabi remembered seeing their old friend Arkad that day, riding in his golden chariot. Arkad was the richest man in all Babylon. Even the king asked Arkad for financial advice. Kabi shared something big. Being rich isn't just about having a full wallet right now. A fat wallet quickly empties if no money keeps coming in. Arkad has an income that always keeps his wallet full no matter how much he spends. Income, that's it, Bansir said, eyes lighting up. He figured Arkad must know how to make an income. So they decided, let's go ask Arkad how we can get incomes too. Kabi realized something huge. We never tried to get rich. We were good at our jobs, but we never tried to build wealth. He said, now finally we see a light, bright like the rising sun. It tells us to learn more so we can do better. This is the start of the story. Bansir and Kabi weren't lazy or bad at their jobs. They just didn't get how money worked. Their wallets were thin, not because they didn't earn, but because they didn't know the basic rules of making and keeping money. Everyone wants a better life, financial safety, a just share of the good things. That's a feeling we all know. The book also talks about Arkad's old friends. They started out just like him, but ended up with empty wallets too. They asked Arkad, "Why did you get rich and not us? We deserve it just as much." Arkad answered clearly, "If you're barely getting by, it's because you either didn't learn the rules for building wealth or you're not following them." And these are the rules or secrets from old Babylon that we're going to learn about. Bansir and Kabi went to Arkad, the richest man in Babylon, for answers. This book is like our chance to do the same. It shows how to turn an empty wallet into a full one and stop struggling so much. So Bansir and Kabi and us were about to learn something big. They wanted Arkad to tell them why they were broke and how to finally get rich. Arkad just felt like he really knew his stuff. He wasn't just rich, he understood how money worked. He was ready to share the simple truth that helped him go from a poor writer to the richest guy in Babylon. Arkad started by talking about his own past. He used to be poor too, working really hard but having nothing to show for it. He told them how he met Algamish, a super rich and smart moneylender. Algamish saw how eager young Arkad was, willing to work all night just for a little advice. So Algamish told him the simple but deep truth that made Arkad rich. "I found the road to wealth," Algamish had told young Arkad in a strong voice, "when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep, and so will you." Young Arkad was confused, maybe like you are now. "But everything I earn is mine, right?" he asked. Algamish, being blunt, shot back, "Nope. Don't you pay the clothes guy, the shoe guy, for your food? Can you even live in Babylon without spending? What do you have from last month's pay? What about last year's? You pay everyone but yourself. You just work for other people." And this really is the first and most important secret to getting rich. You have to pay yourself first. It sounds so simple, but it's a huge deal. Think about it. Most of us work our whole lives, and our money just goes out to everyone else. Rent, food, clothes, fun. We're always paying someone. But what about us? How much of our hard-earned money do we actually put aside for ourselves before anything else? Algamish told Arcad to put away at least 1/10 of everything he made. He said, save more if you can. Pay yourself first. Don't buy more clothes or shoes than you can afford from what's left over and still have money for food and other stuff. This isn't about giving up everything. It's about deciding what's most important. You just make sure that 10% is for your future and you don't touch it for anything else. To show how this works, Arcad used a good example everyone could understand. He asked an egg seller in his class, if you pick a basket and every morning you put in 10 eggs, but only take out 9 eggs at night, what happens? The seller answered right away, it'll get totally full, then overflow. Why? Asked Arcad. Because I put in 1 more egg than I take out every day. And that, basically, is how you fix an empty wallet. For every 10 coins you get, only spend 9. Arcad promised your wallet will start getting heavier right away, and that feeling of it getting fatter will just feel good. Arcad himself said that when he first tried this, it felt weird. He worried he'd feel poorer or not have enough money. But a funny thing happened. He barely noticed a difference. He got by just fine on 9/10 of his income, just like before. And he saw that soon money seemed to come to me easier. He felt it was like a rule. If you save some of what you earn, money seems to find you more easily. But if your wallet is always empty, money stays away. Saving regularly, this simple act of paying yourself first, changes how you think about money. It helps you manage it better. That first coin you save, that first 10%, isn't just money, it's the tiny seed for your money tree. Algamish's words still make sense today. Every gold piece you save is like a worker for you, and every bit it earns is its child, which also works for you. If you want to get rich, your savings need to make more money, and that new money needs to make even more. That's how you get all the wealth you want. This is what people call compounding. It's your golden slaves quietly doing their job, making more money for you over and over. The faster you plant that seed, the faster your money tree will start growing. The more you keep saving and watering that tree, the sooner you'll get to enjoy the comfort it brings. It's not about getting everything right now. It's about that deep, lasting good feeling that part of your work is always earning for you, giving you a good future with lots of money and peace of mind. This first step, even though it's super simple and often forgotten, is how you can get truly rich. Don't think it's not a big deal. We just talked about the first big secret to getting rich, paying yourself first. It means taking out 1/10 of everything you earn and saving it. This money then works for you, like little helpers. It's how your wealth starts. But just like a seed, your savings need more than just being put away. You have to look after it. It needs protection and the right things to really grow. If not, that money might just disappear before it even starts. What's the point of saving if all your daily spending eats up every coin? This is where a lot of people get stuck. They struggle to even save that first 1/10. Arcad's students asked him, how can a man save 1/10 of what he earns if he doesn't even make enough for his basic needs? It's a question many of us still ask. Arcad, the richest man in Babylon, gave them a simple but very true answer. It feels like a new secret, but it's really an old idea. He told them, and now us, this surprising idea. What we call necessary expenses will always grow to match how much we earn, unless we stop it. Think about it. Have you seen this happen? When you make more money, you suddenly need more things? Maybe a bigger house, nicer clothes, bigger parties, or a faster car.
Our spending just grows to fill the money we have. It's a normal human thing. Arcad had a great way to explain this. He said, just like weeds grow in a field if the farmer leaves space, desires grow in people when they can get what they want. We always want more things, and if we don't control them, they'll kill off our savings. So, how do we say no to this? How do we control all these things we want? The answer is simple, and it makes you feel free. We control our spending. But this doesn't mean you can't have any fun or buy anything nice. Not at all. It's about making smart choices. It's about using your money carefully, like a pro, not just buying things without thinking. Arcad's advice was to write down everything you want to spend money on. This is basically how people made budgets in old Babylon. He said to list every single thing you want to buy. Then think clearly. Choose what you really need and what you can afford with the 9/10 of your money. Cross out everything else. Just accept that you can't have everything and don't feel bad about it. This isn't like being a slave, it's actually freedom. One student felt like it was too restrictive. He said, "I'm a free man. I think I should get to enjoy life, so I don't want a budget telling me exactly what I can spend and on what." Arcad's answer got right to the point. He asked, "Who would make your budget?" The student said, "I would make it myself." "Exactly," Arcad replied. "If a donkey made a budget for what it carried, would it include jewels and gold? No. It would include hay, grain, and water for the desert." The idea is you are in charge of your own money. When you make your own budget, it doesn't control you, it works for you. A budget helps your money grow. It helps you get what you need, and if you can, other things you want. It lets you get your biggest wants by keeping you from buying small, silly things. This is the great secret. A budget isn't about saying no to everything. It's about saying yes to the things you really want, to your future self, and to building up your money. It helps you choose between buying something quickly for a moment of fun and having real, lasting security later on. Arcad said your budget is like a bright light in a dark cave. It shows you where your money is leaking out. Then you can stop those leaks and spend your money on things that truly count and make you happy. Think about it. Your budget becomes your guide. It helps you through all the daily temptations. It shows you where your money is really going. You'll see those small, unnoticed ways your money leaves your wallet, slowly draining it dry. And when you see things clearly, you can send that money to things that really help you reach your big goals. This also connects to the first lesson. As you carefully track and plan, you must not touch the 1/10 that's making your wallet bigger. Let that be your main goal. Saving money stops being a chore. Instead, it becomes how you get what you really want, something that changes your life. The money you spend now brings quick fun, but you soon forget about it. But the money you save will bring you bigger things like property, gold, land, or investments that make you more money. So this second lesson, controlling your spending, isn't about saying no to yourself, it's about giving yourself power. It's about purposefully choosing future wealth over quick fun. It's about taking care of your savings so they grow into something big and helpful. This means making your money work for you. It starts with your first penny. Make sure that part is always there, growing steadily and giving you a secure future. Don't just dream of having a lot of money, my friend. Make it real by taking charge of your spending. This is the second big step to getting rich.
Make your money work for you. Okay, so we've learned to control our spending. It might feel like holding back, but it's really about choosing a better future. We've saved some of our money, making sure a part of everything we earn is ours to keep. And we want it to grow, building a secure future. But what happens next? What do we do with all these coins in our growing purse? Do they just sit there, quiet, waiting for some big purchase? No. Here's another important secret. Arcad, the richest man, said it best. Gold in a purse is gratifying to own and satisfieth a miserly soul, but earns nothing. The gold we may retain from our earnings is but the start. The earnings it will make shall build our fortunes. A full purse is nice, but it's only a comfort for a short time if the money just sits there. Think of a rich field, ready for planting. If you don't plant any seeds, it won't grow anything. It's the same with your money. You need to make it work. You have to send it out to find chances to grow. It should come back with more money. This is the third good way to make your money grow. Make your money multiply. It's about seeing your saved coin not just as a thing. It's like a worker, ready to earn more for you. Arcad, even with all his wisdom, didn't always get it right at first. He admitted he messed up sometimes with his early tries. He'd tell us about it later. This reminds us that even smart people make mistakes. But his first good investment teaches us something important. He loaned his extra money to Agar, a skilled shield maker. Agar needed money for bronze. He'd borrow from Arcad and, after selling his shields, pay back the loan with good interest. Here's the smart move that turned simple lending into building wealth. Arcad didn't just take that interest. No, he loaned the interest he was paid back out too. Think about that. His first money grew, and the money it earned also started earning more. He said, therefore, not only did my capital increase, but its earnings likewise increased. It was a small but big change in how he thought, right? Instead of just holding money, he was making it work hard for him. Arcad would say, most gratifying was it to have these sums returned to my purse. You could almost hear how happy and amazed he was. He realized that a man's wealth is not in the coins he carries in his purse. It is the income he buildeth, the golden stream that continually floweth into his purse and keepeth it always bulging. This, my friend, is what real, lasting wealth means. A steady flow of money that just keeps coming. It's an income that continues whether you're working, relaxing, or traveling. It's the freedom you want. It's the base for all your dreams. He talked about how, from his small earnings, he begotten a horde of golden slaves, each laboring and earning more gold. As they labored for me, so their children also labored, and their children's children, until great was the income from their combined efforts. Can you imagine that? A whole army of your money growing itself, always working for you? This is basically the power of compound interest. It's a secret smart people in Babylon knew for ages. It lets your money grow on top of itself, like a tree from one seed. To show how amazing this is, Arcad told a story. A farmer, happy about his first son being born, took 10 pieces of silver to a moneylender. He gave these coins to be invested for his son. The deal was that the earnings, 1/4 its value every 4 years, would be added back to the main amount. When the son turned 20, those original 10 pieces of silver had grown to 30.5 pieces. That's a huge jump. But the story doesn't end there. The farmer saw his son didn't need the money right away, so he left it with the lender. 30 more years went by. When the son, now 50, asked for his inheritance, the lender gave him an amazing 167 pieces of silver. Thus, in 50 years, had the investment multiplied itself at rental almost 17 times. 17 times, my friend, all because the first money was invested, taken care of, and its earnings, and those earnings were put to work too. This isn't magic or just random luck. It's a basic rule of money, as sure as the sun coming up. Your saved money, when you put it to smart work, will make more money. Just like a good field gives lots of crops, or animals have babies. And those new earnings will then make their own earnings. It's a never-ending cycle of growth. It's like a steady stream of gold that once it starts, keeps flowing into your purse, making your future safe and helping you get what you really want. So, this is the third way to make your money grow. To put each coin to laboring that it may reproduce its kind, ever as the flocks of the field, and help bring to thee income, a stream of wealth that shall flow constantly into your purse. It's about choosing to turn your saved money into something that actively makes more money for your future. Start doing this, my friend, and you'll begin to understand the real amazing part of building wealth. You'll feel good knowing your money is working hard for you. This is the way to a life with plenty, where what you want isn't just a dream, but something you can actually get. It's built coin by coin, getting bigger and bigger, showing how smart you've become. Get smart about protecting your money. We talk a lot about your money working for you,
bringing in more cash all the time. But what about keeping that money safe? It's not enough to just make your money grow. You also have to really guard it from getting lost. This is super important. Arcad, the richest guy in Babylon, gave us a great warning. Misfortune loves a shining mark. Gold in a man's purse must be guarded with firmness, else it be lost. Think about getting your first big chunk of savings. You worked hard for it. That feels great, right? Like a promise for a good future. But this money, this shining mark, also attracts bad ideas and tempting offers. Arcad said the first rule of investing is to keep your original money safe. People often forget this when they get excited about making money fast. He asked, "Is it smart to go for bigger earnings if you might lose your main money?" And he answered, "No. Big potential rewards can hide the real chance of losing money." Arcad, who became super rich later, told his students a story about a mistake he made when he was young. He had saved his first money. Then, like any new investor, he gave it to a brickmaker named Asmir. Asmir was going overseas and said he'd buy rare jewels from the Phoenicians. The plan was to sell them when he got back and split the profit. Sounded exciting, right? Like a fast way to get rich. But what happened? Arcad said, "The Phoenicians were cheats and sold him bits of glass. My money was lost." Man, that really sucked for a young guy who worked so hard to save. Looking back, it was a dumb move. Arcad himself later said, "Now I'd instantly know it was dumb to trust a brickmaker with buying jewels." Think about it. Would you ask a bread maker about outer space? No. So don't ask someone who knows nothing about money for financial advice. The lesson is clear. Don't trust people who don't know what they're doing with your money. You could lose everything you worked for. So how do you avoid a mistake like that? Arcad's advice is simple but super important. Don't be too sure you know everything when you put your money into investments. It's much better to ask people who really know how to handle money for profit. This is free advice. Arcad explained that these experienced people give advice for free if you just ask. And that advice can be worth as much as the money you're thinking of investing. Really, it is, especially if it stops you from losing it all. Imagine having a mentor like Mathon, that gold lender we talked about. Mathon, whose token box had so many lessons, always told Rodan, the spearmaker, not to make bad loans. He clearly saw that people who borrow because of their indiscretions aren't safe bets. He stressed, "Gold, you see, Rodan, is what a lender sells. It's easy to lend it out, but if it's lent badly, it's hard to get back. A smart lender wants to be sure they'll get paid back, not just take a risk." He wasn't just talking about lending, he was talking about any investment. The rules are the same. Mathon's wisdom shows how important it is to work with people and businesses that are already successful. That way, your money can grow well, and their smarts and experience will keep it safe. These old lessons are also boiled down in the 5 laws of gold. Remember them because they're key to keeping your money for a long time. The 3rd law of gold says, "Gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling." Basically, real safety comes from smart advice. The 4th law of gold warns, "Gold slippeth away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar, or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep." This is exactly what Arcad did with the brickmaker. It shows that not knowing enough about an investment can cost you a lot. And finally, the 5th law of gold makes this point even stronger. Gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings, or who followeth the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment. This means we often want to get rich fast, but we have to be careful and listen to others. Look, getting rich isn't just about making money. It's also about keeping what you've got. Be as careful with your money as you are eager to get more. Find people who have already done well with money. Their advice can protect you from bad luck, and their experience can guide your money safely to a secure future. Like Mathon wisely carved in his token box, a little caution is better than a big regret.
Remember what Mathon said? Better a little caution than a great regret. It's just smart advice, something that really helps keep us out of trouble. We've talked about how to get money, like paying yourself first and making your money work for you, But what's the point of earning a lot if it can disappear just as fast? The real secret to keeping your money and making it last isn't just about how you get it, it's about how well you protect it. So this is the main thing for building lasting wealth. Arkad said the first rule for investing is to keep your original money safe. Think about it. You wouldn't build a beautiful house without a strong foundation, right? You'd worry every time there was a storm. It's the same with your money. Keeping it safe has to be your top priority. If you don't, everything else you do with it could just fall apart. But a lot of things try to trick us into taking risks with our money. You hear about getting rich super fast or making impossible amounts of cash. Those are usually traps. They sound great, but they just lead people to lose everything and feel awful. Remember the fifth law of gold? It said gold runs away from anyone who tries to force it into impossible earnings or listens to tricksters or trusts it to their own inexperience. That's exactly the kind of mistake we need to watch out for. We all want to get rich quick, and that can make us ignore obvious dangers or forget good advice for some shiny shortcut. Arkad, the richest guy in Babylon, even told a story about his first investment mistake. He gave a whole year's savings to Asmor, a brickmaker. Asmar was traveling overseas and promised to buy rare jewels in Tyre, then sell them for a lot of money when he got back. Sounded good, right? But guess what happened? The Phoenicians were scoundrels and sold him bits of glass. My treasure was lost. A brickmaker buying jewels in a faraway land. Arkad later realized how silly it was to let someone like that handle his money. So here's a big lesson. Don't let the idea of quick money make you give your cash to people who don't know what they're doing or to things you don't understand. You wouldn't ask a baker for advice on astronomy, right? So why would you ask someone who isn't an expert about important investments? This brings up another important point. It's way better to get a small, safe return than to chase something with high risk. Arkad, who got super rich, always said to be careful. He learned that if you take big risks, you'll probably lose money. So why go for something super exciting but risky when slow and steady can get you to the same place and you won't be stressed out? Arkad even told us directly, consult with wise men. Seek the advice of men whose daily work is handling money. Let them save you from such an error as I myself made in entrusting my money to the judgment of Asmor, the brickmaker. A small return, and a safe one, is far more desirable than risk. This reminds me of Mathan, the guy who loaned out gold. He didn't care about crazy high promises. He just wanted to be sure he'd get his money back. He told Rodan, gold, you see, Rodan, is the merchandise of the lender of money. It is easy to lend. If it is lent unwisely, then it is difficult to get back. The wise lender wishes not the risk of the undertaking, but the guarantee of safe repayment. Mathan's token chest had a lot of lessons in it. He said, keep thy 50 pieces of gold. Thy first desire is for safety. And then he added, be not swayed by the fantastic plans of impractical men who think they see ways to force thy gold to make earnings unusually large. Such plans are the creations of dreamers, unskilled in the safe and dependable laws of trade. Be conservative in what thou expected to earn, that thou mayst keep and enjoy thy treasure. To hire it out with a promise of usurious returns is to invite loss. Instead, he urged, seek to associate thyself with men and enterprises whose success is established, that thy treasure may earn liberally under their skillful use and be guarded safely by their wisdom and experience. This is key to staying safe. It means working with people and businesses that have a proven track record, not chasing after some wild idea. So here's the main takeaway. Before you go for big opportunities or huge profits, you need to protect what you already have. Your main money, the seed for your wealth, has to be super safe. That means choosing steady growth over a crazy sprint. It means listening to people who've done it right before. And it means understanding that the real treasure isn't just money,
but the peace of mind you get from knowing your money is safe and growing slowly. Being careful like this isn't a chore. It stops you from regretting things later. It makes sure your money keeps flowing steadily instead of getting lost in some bad investment.
Make your home a good investment. Babylon's old wisdom tells us to protect our money. We want it to grow, not just vanish. But what's the point of saving money if your home life is a mess, or if your house is falling apart? Protecting your money isn't just about the cash in your wallet. It's also about your home, the place you live. This leads us to something important. If you get it, it can change a small amount of money into a lot. Arcad, the richest guy in Babylon, had a smart idea. He called it the fifth way to get rich. Make your home a good investment. Think about old Babylon. It was rich, but also had really poor areas. Arcad saw that many people lived in bad places. They paid a lot of rent to landlords. These rooms were too small. Wives couldn't grow flowers, and kids could only play in dirty alleys. This sounds a lot like today, right? We pay rent every month, year after year. A big chunk of our hard-earned money goes to a landlord. What do we get for it? A place to live, sure, but that money is gone forever. It doesn't build anything for us or our kids. It's like sending our money straight to someone else's bank account while ours stays empty. But Arcad showed a different way. He said, if you saved 9 parts of your money to live and have fun, and you can use some of that 9 parts to make a good investment without hurting your life, then your money will grow much faster. This is the smart part. The money we use for living, that 90% after we've paid ourselves first, can be used better. For most people, then and now, housing costs are the biggest expense. So instead of giving that money to a landlord, what if you put it towards your own home? Then a constant bill turns into something you actually own. Arcad looked past just the money side of things. He talked about how important it is to own your home. He said families can't really enjoy life unless they have their own land. This land is where kids can play outside and a wife can grow flowers and herbs for food. Imagine the smell of herbs drying in the sun, kids laughing in their own yard, or the simple joy of taking care of a small garden. These aren't just nice thoughts. They help you build a good life, a life where you can do things yourself and feel good about it. And think about how it makes you feel. He said it makes a man happy to eat figs from his own trees and grapes from his own vines. This isn't just about food. It's about owning something, seeing your hard work pay off right there. He said when you own your home and are proud to take care of it, you feel more confident and you put more effort into everything you do. Can you imagine that feeling? That burst of pride when you know this land, this house is yours? It gives more meaning to everything you do. Your work isn't just to get by, it's to make your place better for your future. Then, Arcad talked about how to actually do it. He said it wasn't just for rich people. He pointed out that even in Babylon, there was a lot of unused land, and you could buy it for a fair price. He also said that moneylenders would gladly help people who want homes and land for their families. But here's the catch. You need to show that you've saved some of the money yourself. This goes back to the first rule. Pay yourself first. Save that 10%. That first bit of savings can be what helps you get your own home. And this is where it gets really good. Arcad explained, once the house is built, you can pay the lender just like you paid your landlord. But with each payment, you'll owe less and less. After a few years, the loan will be paid off. See the big difference? When you pay a landlord, that money is gone forever. The cost never stops. But with a loan for your own home, every payment, just like your old rent, reduces what you owe. And that debt will eventually be gone. When it is, wow, what a relief. Arcad said, then you'll be happy because you own a valuable property. Your only cost will be the king's taxes. Think about that peace of mind. No more endless rent. Your home, which used to be a money drain, becomes a safe place. It's something you own that grows in value,
and it only costs a small amount in taxes. Arkad also said these good things help the whole family. He pictured the wife going to the river for water, and on her way back, bringing water for the plants. This isn't just about chores, it shows a family working together. They nurture their home, turning it into a place of plenty. The more they put into it, like water for the garden or just care, the more good things they get back. Moving from renting to owning will really cut down your living costs. This means you'll have more money for fun and things you want. It's a good cycle. Owning makes you feel confident. Confidence makes you work harder. Harder work means more money, and lower living costs mean you have that money for things you enjoy. Plus, your home keeps getting more valuable. So listen to this old wisdom from Babylon. Don't let your money disappear into endless rent payments. Instead, put it carefully into something that shelters your family. It will make you feel more confident, lighten your load, and help you get richer. So the fifth way to get rich is this: own your own home. Let this idea stick with you. It's a promise of safety, pride, and lasting wealth. Something you build on solid ground, not shaky sand.
You've got your own home, which is a great step. It's solid ground, a safe place. No more landlords asking for rent. It makes you feel secure, and you're building real wealth. But even with your own home, Arkad, the richest man in Babylon, said life keeps going. There are good things ahead, but also things you can't predict. So let's talk about something else important. It's a way to add even more protection to your life and for the people you care about. This idea helps smart people not just be rich now, but also have peace later. Arkad called it the sixth cure for a lean purse: ensure a future income. Arkad started talking about this important idea with a simple truth. Everyone goes from childhood to old age. That's just how life is, unless the gods take them early. It's true, right? As we get older, we can't work as hard or earn as much. So he said we need to plan for income later when we're old, and we need to plan for our family in case we're not around to take care of them. This isn't about just saving every penny. It's about thinking ahead, being smart for your whole life. Imagine how good it would feel to know money is still coming in even when you can't work anymore. Arkad talked about different ways to do this. He warned that burying treasure was risky. Thieves might find it. Houses and land, if you pick them well, are solid. But then he told a story about a sandal maker named Ansan. Ansan put 2 pieces of silver with his moneylender every week for 8 years. With the rental, what we call interest today, added over time, his small, regular deposits grew to 1,040 pieces of silver. Arkad, who was good with numbers, showed Ansan that if he kept doing this for 12 more years, he'd have 4,000 pieces of silver. That would be enough for him to live comfortably for the rest of his life. Pretty amazing, right? Small, regular actions done consistently can build up a lot of security. The big secret is that saving and investing steadily over time really builds wealth. But Arkad looked even further ahead. What he talked about back then sounds a lot like what we have now. He had a strong feeling. I wish I could say more about this. I believe that someday smart people will create a plan to protect against death. Many people would pay in a small amount regularly, and the total would be a good sum for the family of each member who dies. Isn't that smart? Back in ancient Babylon, he was basically talking about life insurance. He thought a plan like that would really help people. Even a small first payment could go to a family if someone died. He knew such a big plan would need to be super stable, like the king's throne. It had to last longer than any one person or business. It's amazing. He was thinking about how to handle big worries, like not having money when you're old or leaving your family without help. And he came up with clever money ideas centuries before most people even thought of them. This big need for lasting protection to guard against bad things that happen reminds me of a strong symbol from Babylon, its huge walls. Think about those ancient days in the part of the book called The Walls of Babylon. Imagine old Banzar, a tough soldier, standing guard.
Picture armies attacking, thousands of horses, battering rams hitting the huge gates. People were scared, gathering around him, wanting to hear they were safe. To every worried question, Banzar always answered firmly, like the old soldier he was, "The walls of Babylon are strong. The walls of Babylon will protect you." These weren't just walls. They showed that everyone was safe together, a promise they'd last against any enemy. For 3 weeks and 5 days, the attack went on, but the walls of Babylon kept the enemy out, protecting its treasures and people. Babylon lasted for centuries because it was protected. It had to be. And this old story speaks to us today. The walls of Babylon show how much people need and want protection. It's just part of being human. Just like those walls guarded the city, we need to build financial walls around our lives and families. These walls are things like insurance, life, health, property, also savings accounts that steadily grow, and good investments that make money year after year. These are the things that protect us from bad surprises that can happen to anyone. The people of Babylon trusted the strength and smart planning of their walls. We need to trust smart planning too and act consistently. And Arcad said to get advice from wise men. Talk to people who deal with money every day, not just anyone with a great idea for an investment, because a small, safe profit is way better than a risky one. So this isn't just about getting rich. It's about building a secure life that takes care of you when you're old and looks after your family if you're not around. It's a big act of love and responsibility. It's like building those strong old walls that kept Babylon safe. So remember this important cure. Provide in advance for the needs of thy growing age and the protection of thy family. Make your financial life as strong as Babylon's walls. That way you'll have a future with not just money, but real peace of mind.
Good luck comes from taking chances, not just by accident. We've been talking about wisdom from Babylon. We learned how to make our money situation strong. It's like building big walls to keep things safe and peaceful, just like the old city of Babylon had. But hey, a big question comes up now. Does all this safety and real wealth just depend on dumb luck? Like, are you just born lucky, or do you just find a pot of gold by accident? People in Babylon thought about this a lot. They met up and asked Arcad, the richest guy there, for answers. What he said was really eye-opening. He explained how good luck actually works. Arcad was clear. He said, "Fickle fate is a vicious goddess who brings no permanent good to anyone." Think about that for a moment. He explained that money you didn't work for, like winning the lottery, doesn't usually lead to lasting wealth. Instead, it often curses its recipients. He saw some become big spenders. They blow all their money fast. Then they want even more, but can't get it. They just spend and spend on fun stuff, but end up poorer and still not happy. Others, who get this chance money, become hoarders. They just pile up their sudden cash. They're scared to spend it because they know they can't get it back. They end up secretly miserable. Their money owns them, not the other way around. Think about gambling. People still love it. Many people in Babylon, just like today, went there thinking they could get lucky. But Arcad said the truth was this: when a man playeth the games, the situation is reversed, for the chances of profit are always against him and always in favor of the gamekeeper. He gave an example with dice. 5 sides mean you lose, 1 side means you win 4 times your bet. The game is just set up so the house always wins. How could a man expect to win consistently against such calculated odds? Sure, some people win sometimes, but Arcad couldn't think of one rich person in Babylon who got rich from gambling. A quick win is like seeing water in the desert. It looks good, but it doesn't really help you for long. So, if just luck isn't how you get lasting good things, then what is? This gets us to a key idea Arcad explained. Good luck isn't just given to you randomly.
you actually bring it to yourself. It is, in fact, enticed by accepting opportunity. Imagine an old merchant in Babylon telling a sad story. Years ago, he had a great chance. His dad's friend's son had a plan to water a dry piece of land to grow herb gardens. He needed 12 investors, each giving 1/10 of their earnings. His own father, with smart advice, told him, "Opportunity stands before thee, my son. It is offering a chance that may lead to wealth. I beg of thee, do not delay. Go upon the morrow. Opportunity waits for no man. Today it is here, soon it is gone. Therefore delay not." But the young merchant hesitated. He saw new robes from the east, fancy clothes for him and his wife. He just couldn't stand waiting for those clothes to invest his money. He postponed his decision, and of course, it was too late. The project did way better than anyone thought. It was a gold mine. But his share? It was gone because he didn't do anything. Good luck came to him ready to grab, but he just let it slip away. This story struck a chord with the other listeners. A stranger from Syria, in his straightforward way, said, "Each time opportunity fly away for same reason. Each time she come to procrastinator, bringing good plan. Each time they hesitate, not say, right now best time, I do it quick. How can men succeed that way?" The wisdom in his words, though direct, was undeniable. He talked about the procrastinator, someone who always puts off what they should do. Another good example came from a camel buyer, a guy who usually gets things done, but even he once let a chance slip away when he was young. Returning to Babylon, he found the city gates closed for the night. An old farmer who really needed to sell his sheep and get home to his sick wife offered him the whole group at a super low price. The camel buyer knew it was a steal, a huge profit waiting. But darkness made counting difficult, and he stubbornly refused to pay until morning. "Please, most honorable sir, pay me but 2/3 of the price tonight that I may be on my way." But the buyer was obstinate. The next morning, before he even woke up, the city gates opened. Other buyers, thinking there might be a fight soon, rushed out and paid almost 3 times what he was offered. Again, rare good luck was allowed to escape just because he waited. He didn't act fast enough on a good deal. These tales all show a big truth. Good luck fled from procrastination. Putting things off is a bad habit. It tells you to wait, to be careful, even when you should just go for it. It pushes away chances, stealing our chances in what we could achieve. Arcad said, "You won't fully succeed until you completely crush the spirit of procrastination within him." And so the wisdom becomes crystal clear. Good luck, that thing everyone wants but is hard to get, doesn't just show up for free or by accident. Instead, good luck, we do find, often follows opportunity, but seldom comes otherwise. It comes to people who are ready, who pay attention, and who, most importantly, are ready to jump on a chance. Arcad said, "Those eager to grasp opportunities for their betterment do attract the interest of the good goddess. She is ever anxious to aid those who please her. Men of action please her best. Action will lead thee forward to the successes thou desire." So here's the secret, my friend. Be ready to see chances and act on them. Good luck isn't just given out randomly. It goes to people who know what they want and actually do something about it.
But what often stops us from taking action, from grabbing good chances when they show up? Even when things look good, what holds us back? Arcad knew this secret enemy. It's not outside us, it's inside. Think about the old stories from Babylon, like the one about the merchant. When he was young, he had a great chance. He could invest in dry land. With new water wheels, it would grow lots of herbs. His dad, a really smart guy, told him straight,
"This is your chance, son. Don't wait. Go first thing tomorrow. Opportunity doesn't stick around. It's here today, gone tomorrow, so don't delay." But the merchant? He got sidetracked. He looked at cool new clothes from traders, thought about quick fun stuff. He waited. He put off making a choice until it was too late. He ended up regretting it big time. He later said that business made more money than anyone thought it would. So, his good luck was right there, but he let it go. Then there's the story of the animal buyer. He spent 10 days looking for camels with no luck. One night, as the city gates closed, an old farmer showed up. He had to sell a big flock of sheep cheap because of a family problem. This was a clear chance to make good money, but the buyer wanted to wait. He said he'd count them and pay in the morning. What happened? While he slept, other smart buyers heard about an upcoming battle and food shortage. They came and bought all the sheep for almost 3 times what the farmer offered the first guy. Again, good luck was right there, but he let it go just because he didn't act fast. Right there, with Arcad and everyone listening, someone spoke a plain truth. A Syrian man, new to Babylon, heard these stories about missed chances. He asked, in his broken language, what you call a man who puts off good things for himself? And the answer hit everyone. Procrastinator. The Syrian shouted, "That's it. He doesn't take the chance when it comes. He waits. He says, I'm busy now. Later I'll talk." But opportunity won't wait for slow people. It thinks if you want luck, you need to be quick. Anyone who isn't quick when a chance shows up, he's a big procrastinator, like our merchant friend. That's a powerful truth. The merchant even laughed and admitted it. He and the buyer both said this procrastination thing was inside them. It kept telling them to wait. They confessed, when we listen to it, we hurt ourselves. It's like a bad habit that pretends to be careful or busy, but it actually steals your chances. So, it's an enemy inside you. It's sneaky. It tells you to doubt, to wait, to do nothing. Meanwhile, your chances just disappear like water in the desert. Arcad, who was super rich, really understood this enemy. He knew that true willpower just means you're totally set on finishing what you start. It's not some special power only some people get. It's a choice you make, a promise to yourself to stick to your path. He gave a simple but deep example that makes this clear. He said, if I tell myself, for 100 days as I walk across the bridge into the city, I'll pick up a pebble and throw it in the stream, I'd do it. If I forgot on the 7th day, I wouldn't say, I'll throw 2 tomorrow. No, I'd go back and throw that 1 pebble. And on the 20th day, I wouldn't say, Arcad, this is pointless. Why throw 1 pebble every day? Just throw a bunch and be done. No, I wouldn't say or do that. When I decide to do something, I finish it. Get what this little act means? It's not about how big the task is. It's about being totally set on doing it every single day. It's beating that sneaky voice that tells you to wait, to do it later or tomorrow, or that it's not a big deal, or another way is fine. This is how you build confidence, one small, clear action at a time. It gets you ready for bigger chances that need the same kind of focus. So, this is what Arcad taught us. If you want good luck and success, you have to act. Not just big, dramatic moves, but winning those small daily battles against that inner enemy, procrastination. Arcad told us, good luck usually comes after an opportunity, but rarely otherwise. And who actually gets these opportunities? People who are quick to grab opportunities to make things better for themselves. They attract good fortune. Good fortune likes to help those who please it. And people who act are the ones who please it most. Action will get you the success you want. Basically, fast action is how you invite good things into your life. Just seeing an opportunity isn't enough. Just wanting success isn't enough either. The real change happens when that want makes you act right away. When you shut up that voice inside that wants to wait and you just go for it, you attract good things. Every time you hesitate, it's a missed opportunity. A quick blessing gone forever, leaving you to wonder what if.
So good luck doesn't just show up for anyone. It comes to people who have a plan, who are determined, and who actually do things. That's the main difference between people who just dream of money and those who actually make it. One brick, one choice, one action at a time. It's your call as always.
Dabasir's journey from slavery to freedom by paying debts. Good luck doesn't just happen. It comes to people who actually do things. People who decide what they want and go for it. That's the real difference between people who only dream of getting rich and those who actually make it happen, bit by bit. It's your choice. So yes, deciding to act is huge. It shapes your future. But what if you're stuck? What if old choices created so many problems that it feels like you're falling, not moving forward? What if you're trapped, not by actual chains, but by debt? This is Dabasir's story. He was a camel trader, and like a lot of us, he messed up. He spent way too much. He made saddles, and he earned enough for him and his good wife to live okay. But he wanted fancy stuff, things they couldn't afford. So he got caught in the buy now, pay later trap. The book puts it well. He sowed the winds of needless self-indulgence, from which he is sure to reap the whirlwinds of trouble and humiliation. Soon, his money wasn't enough. People he owed money to chased him. His life became awful. His wife went back to her dad, ashamed. Dabasir gave up and ran away from Babylon, hoping to find easy money somewhere else. But he just found trouble. Thieves caught him. Then he was sold into actual slavery in Syria. Talk about messed up. His own debt problems led him to real chains. He was a prisoner in a strange country, and that's when Dabasir finally had to face why he was really in trouble. One day, his owner, Sira, a smart woman, saw how sad he was. She really got to him. She asked him straight up, "How can you say you're free when your own weak choices put you here? If someone acts like a slave, won't they become one no matter where they started? But if someone acts like a free person, won't they earn respect in their city, even after bad luck?" She told him the plain truth. Your debts are your enemies. They pushed you out of Babylon. Those words really hit Dabasir like a lightning bolt. He thought about how true they were for a whole year. But the real change happened after he escaped. He got lost and was dying of thirst in the huge desert. As he lay there, weak and almost gone, his mind got clearer than it had ever been before. He looked out at the empty land, and the question came back to him so clearly. Am I a slave at heart or a free man? Right then, he gave up. The colored stone he'd been looking through was suddenly removed. He saw what really mattered, not quick wants, but self-respect, honor, and being responsible. He saw what he had to do. He wouldn't die a runaway slave. He'd go back to Babylon. He'd face everyone he owed money to. He'd make his wife, who really loved him, happy again. And he'd become a man respected in Babylon. He hit rock bottom, but it became the base for his whole new life. So, with the soul of a free man pushing him, Dabasir got up. He was totally determined. Back in Babylon, he talked to Mathon, a gold lender. Mathon knew how powerful a good plan could be. They made a strategy together. Dabasir even carved it onto clay tablets, showing how much he wanted this and how much he'd learned. He wrote these rules down for himself and for us to learn from. His plan was simple, but it changed everything. First, 1/10 of all I earn shall be set aside as my own to keep. This was for his future, money he couldn't touch, a promise to himself. Second, 7/10 of all I earn shall be used to provide a home, clothes to wear, and food to eat, with a bit extra to spend that our lives be not lacking in pleasure and enjoyment. And third, each time the moon is full, 2/10 of all I have earned shall be divided honorably and fairly among those who have trusted me and to whom I am indebted. This was how he got his freedom back. He faced his creditors. Some hated him,
others offered to help. But everyone eventually took his honest word. Month after month, Dabasir worked hard, working hard with a free mind. He had to no to a lot of things, but his heart felt lighter every time he paid off a debt. He found a real sense of peace. The clay tablets say, his heart is lighter than it hath been for a long time. He stood tall again. He said, it maketh my head to stand straight upon my shoulders, and maketh proud to walk among my friends. Dabasir's story is still important today. It's a big reminder that debt, when it gets out of control, can really trap you. It takes away your money, sure, but also your self-respect and your peace. But it also shows us a simple truth. Real freedom, becoming someone who stands on their own, doesn't come from magic or luck. It comes from being determined, from being brave enough to face your debts, and from being smart enough to live by a plan. A plan that builds your self-respect and keeps your future safe. You don't just get the soul of a free person. You earn it, step by step, by doing what you need to do and taking responsibility.
Dabasir, a camel trader, wrote down his plan for dealing with debt. It's not just his personal story, it's a simple, clear guide for anyone trying to get out of debt. Imagine finding these words from ancient Babylon. They're not about kings, but about a regular guy who wanted to be debt-free and get his self-respect back. That's a pretty big deal. Dabasir was serious about getting out of debt. He wanted to feel free again. So he went to his friend Mathan, a gold lender who knew a lot about money issues. Mathan gave Dabasir a simple plan. Dabasir wrote this plan on clay tablets. He called it a clear plan that he says will help any honest person get out of debt and feel good about themselves. His plan, written down by Dabasir, is about splitting all your earnings into 3 main parts. Let's look at what they are. First, Dabasir had to save 1/10 of everything he earned for himself, so a bit of every coin he got just for him. Mathan was super clear about this. He said someone who keeps money he doesn't need to spend is good to his family and loyal to his king. Mathan knew that if you want to feel truly free, you have to build your own money first. No one else touches this. This isn't just saving, it's about paying yourself first. It's the start of your own wealth, like Arkad, the richest man in Babylon, also talked about. This is how you start to get financially free. Next, after saving his 10%, Dabasir used 7/10 of his money for his living costs. This covered his home, clothes, and food, plus a little bit extra for fun, so life wasn't just about bills. Mathan said to be super careful not to spend more than 70% on these things. It meant living within what he made, but not feeling like he had nothing. It was about making smart choices in budgeting. You know, realizing your wants are endless, but your money isn't. So he had to be disciplined. He couldn't let his spending get out of control. The point was to live okay, but without touching the money for saving or debt. It was about making sure every coin spent was worth it. And it was about not letting necessary expenses just keep growing until they ate up everything, which Arkad had also warned about. And finally, for the big problem that landed Dabasir in debt, he put 2/10 of his money toward paying back his creditors. This was him finally facing his past mistakes. Each month, Dabasir would carefully split this money among everyone he owed. He promised that, in time, all my debts will be paid. It wasn't just a wish, it was a real commitment he made to himself and to the people he owed money to. But how do you even start something this big? Dabasir knew he had to face the people he owed. It was tough. He went to each creditor, not with excuses, but with honest facts. He told them, I have no money to pay you now, only what I earn. And he said he'd use 2/10 of all I earn to pay my debts, fairly and honestly. His message was clear. This is all I can pay, so if you're patient, I'll pay off everything over time. Another really important part of this plan was sticking to it and treating everyone fairly. Some creditors, like Ammar, were really mad. Others, like Birajik, asked for special treatment. Alkahad, the landlord, was mean and said he'd cause trouble if I didn't pay up quickly. But Dabasir stood firm. Even with anger and pleas, he said, "I might not be able to give some of you what you want, but I will treat all of you fairly." He really had to be strong. He wouldn't let threats or feelings change his mind. He knew if he paid one person more than others, his whole plan would fall apart, and he'd lose the self-respect he was building. So every creditor, no matter how big or small, got the same fair share. Month after month, Dabasir stuck to his promise. His writings show there were tough times when he didn't earn much, and he and his wife ate little but herbs, but they still kept to their percentages. He wrote about feeling discouraged sometimes, but he also felt really good when creditors, who were harsh at first, started to praise his small, steady payments. Even Alkahad, the grumpy landlord, eventually got along with Dabasir when he saw how committed he was. So this old advice from Babylon teaches us that getting out of debt isn't just for a few lucky people. Anyone can do it if they have a clear goal and a plan. It helps you get your money sorted, but also makes you feel good about yourself again. You get that confidence from actually doing things and taking responsibility. Dabasir's 70-20-10 rule isn't just a money plan, it's a way to change your life. It takes you from being stuck in debt to feeling truly free. And Dabasir said it himself, it's worth so much. Didn't it make an honorable man out of an ex-slave? That's a pretty strong question, don't you think?
Mathon's wisdom, assessing risk for lenders. Dabasir's story shows how planning and having a clear goal can get you out of debt and give you real freedom. But how did Dabasir, the ex-slave, first figure out his 70-20-10 rule? He asked Mathon, a wise old gold lender in Babylon. Mathon had seen it all when it came to people and their money. So let's talk about Mathon. He knew a lot about money and people. His insights came from all his deals and the stories in his token chest. He taught a key part of building wealth, how to spot risk, not just when you get money, but when you lend it. Think about Rodon, the spear maker. He got 50 gold pieces from the king for his smart spear design. The coins jingled in his wallet. All that potential, it was his. But his happiness didn't last. Gold attracts attention. Everyone wanted some. Even his sister, who meant well, begged him to lend it to her husband, Araman. She thought Araman could become a rich merchant. Rodon was confused. So he went to Mathon's quiet shop full of treasures. Mathon had a thin, pale face and eyes that had seen a lot. He listened. He gave Rodon food and wine. That was rare. Most people only wanted his gold, not his advice. Then, Mathon started explaining how lending works. He told stories as clear as the designs on his old token chest. He first showed Rodon his token chest. It was long, covered in red leather, and had shiny bronze decorations. He whispered, "For everyone I lend to, I take a token. It stays in this chest until they pay me back. If they pay, I give it back. If they don't, it reminds me they weren't honest with me." Think of all the stories those tokens held. So what did this chest teach? First, Mathon said the safest loans were to people who owned more than they wanted to borrow, like if they owned land, jewels, or camels, things you could sell to get your gold back. That way, there's little risk. The loan is tied to real stuff. Mathon said, with loans like those, I know my gold will come back plus interest. Then Mathon talked about another kind of promise, what people can do. He said, others can earn money, like you, who work and get paid. If they're honest and nothing bad happens, I know they can pay back the gold and the interest. These loans are based on someone's hard work. This is like Dabasir, right? He could earn money as a camel tender, and his willpower was his promise to pay. So, if someone can really work and honestly pay you back, lending them gold can help both sides. But then Mathon touched a bronze necklace on red cloth. It was from a friend who got into trouble because of bad choices and strong feelings. Then he picked up a heavy gold bracelet. It was from a loan to a mother who meant well, but her son turned out to be a rascal,
with no money and no friends. Mathon said simply, if people borrow for things that will make them money, that's good. But if they borrow because of bad choices, be careful. You might never see your gold again. He told a story about an ox and a donkey. It taught a deep lesson for anyone wanting to help. If you want to help a friend, do it in a way that doesn't put their problems on your shoulders. This was Mathon's main point. Don't lend money for silly reasons. Lend it for smart reasons that will make money. Then he picked up a ring made of ox bone. It was from a farmer who borrowed to buy strange goats from far away to use their fine hair for rugs. Now that was a smart loan. It would make more gold, not waste it. Mathon said, his goat herd is growing. Next year, I'll shock the rich people of Babylon with the best rugs they've ever bought. I need to give him back his ring soon. He's so keen to pay me back. See? Lending gold for a good business idea pays off well. People are often happy to pay it back. Mathon didn't say borrowing was bad. Actually, he said, I encourage it. I think it's good if it's for a smart reason. But he was very clear about not chasing fast money or making bad calls. He showed a turquoise beetle token. It was from a young guy who was too eager to get rich. He didn't know enough. His businesses failed. A harsh lesson. Young people are ambitious. They want to get rich fast. They don't have experience. They don't know that hopeless debt is like a deep hole you fall into quickly and struggle in for a long time. So, about Rodon's problem with his sister's husband, Mathon was firm. Merchants need to learn their business. His goal is good, but it's not practical. I wouldn't lend him any gold. He knew gold, Rodon, is what a lender sells. It's easy to lend, but if you lend it badly, it's hard to get back. A smart lender doesn't want to risk the business. They want to be sure they'll get paid back safely. His last words to Rodon were carved inside his token box, were a timeless truth for everyone. A little caution is better than a big regret. And that's another big secret from Babylon. Mathon's wisdom teaches us something important. Whether you're making money or lending it, good judgment, having a clear purpose, and working hard are always key to building lasting wealth. It's one thing to get gold, but to keep it safe, use it wisely, and watch it grow without regrets, that's what real money smarts are all about.
Helping friends wisely. Don't take on their problems. To see your money grow without regrets, that's being really good with it. But knowing how money works isn't just about your own cash. It's also about how you handle money with people you care about. What's the point of saving money if you just give it away because you feel bad or want to be nice? Like Mathon, a wise old lender, used to say. He even had it written on his coin box, and it helped Babylon get rich. Better a little caution than a great regret. This idea is super important, especially when a friend or family member asks you for money. So, there's Rodon, a guy who makes spears. He got this amazing gift from the king, 50 gold pieces. It was way more money than he'd ever seen. But all this new money brought him a big problem, not just happiness. His sister, who he really cared about, begged him to lend his gold to her husband, Ahriman. She wanted Ahriman to become a rich merchant. Problem was, Rodon knew Ahriman didn't know anything about trading or selling stuff. Rodon was stuck. He loved his sister, but he also wanted to protect his money. He was so stressed, he went to Mathon, that same wise lender, for advice. Mathon, who had seen a lot of human mistakes and smart choices, totally got what Rodon was going through. He just gave a soft smile. He said that having money means having responsibility, and it changes how people see you. Good intentions can even cause trouble when money is involved. To show what he meant, Mathon told a story. It was about a farmer in Nineveh who could talk to animals. One evening, this farmer heard his ox complaining to the donkey about its tough life. The ox complained, "I pull that plow all day, every day. You just get to carry the boss around and relax." The donkey, a nice guy, felt bad for him. He said, "Hey friend, tomorrow when the worker comes for you, just lie down and make sick noises. Then you'll get the day off." The ox did what he was told. The next morning, the worker told the farmer the ox was sick. The farmer said, "Fine, then hitch the donkey to the plow, we still have to get the work done." All day long, the donkey, who just wanted to help, had to do the ox's hard plowing work. By evening, he was mad, his legs hurt, and his neck was sore. He had taken on someone else's problem. Mathon told Rodan the lesson was simple. If you want to help a friend, do it in a way that doesn't dump their problems onto you. And that's a really important truth, like heavy as a bag of gold. It means knowing the difference between truly helping someone stand on their own 2 feet and just making things worse by letting them off the hook. That kind of help usually hurts everyone in the end. Next, Mathon showed Rodan his token chest. It didn't hold gold, but a bunch of little tokens. Each one was a story and a lesson he'd learned from years of lending money. Each token stood for a loan, a trust, and usually a lesson learned. He showed Rodan tokens from smart loans, like to guys who had more stuff than the loan was worth, or to people who had a track record of earning money and were super honest. These loans, like one to a farmer buying goats to make a profit, got paid back fast. That made Mathon's money grow, and everyone did well. But then Mathon showed him tokens from loans that didn't go so well. There was a bronze necklace from a friend who spent too much on his fancy wife. Mathon said, people who are super emotional aren't good bets for loans. Then a gold bracelet. That was from an eager but green kid, a rascal who just ditched his partner and lost all the money. Mathon sighed, young people always want fast money and borrow badly. And an ugly Egyptian beetle token. That was from a loan to a young guy who, when asked to pay up, just shrugged and said, "How can I? Bad luck follows me, and you have tons more money anyway." In these cases, Mathon had taken on the problems himself, felt bad, and didn't get his money back. These stories show a big difference. Money is what lenders deal in. It's easy to lend out, but if you do it badly, it's super hard to get back. A smart lender, like Mathon, doesn't look for risky bets. They look for a sure way to get paid back. He wants his money to work for other people and make more money, but he won't risk losing the original amount, which he saved up through a lot of hard work and sacrifice. Back to Rodan's problem with Ahriman. Mathon's advice was really direct, no sugarcoating. He said he'd ask Ahriman what he knew about trading. Could he buy cheap and sell high? If Ahriman couldn't show he actually knew how to do it, Mathon would say his plan wasn't smart and wouldn't lend him the money. Wanting to be big is fine, but without knowing how to do it, it's a bad way to get money. Mathon even told Rodan how to talk to his sister about it. "I've worked hard for 3 years, and I've given up a lot. For each year of that work, I have 1 piece of gold. You're my favorite sister. If Ahriman can show a plan that my friend Mathon thinks is smart and doable, then I'll happily lend him 1 year's worth of my savings." This way, Rodan isn't just letting Ahriman off easy. He's actually helping him in a real way. It makes Ahriman come up with a real plan and show he knows his stuff. So Rodan's hard-earned money stays safe, but Ahriman still gets a fair chance to show what he can do. So Mathon summed it up. Keep your 50 pieces of gold. He told Rodan to put safety first. Money slips away in weird ways from people who don't know how to guard it. He also warned against crazy plans from guys who don't know what they're doing, especially if they promise huge profits. Those are just dreams from people who don't understand how business really works. Instead, work with people and businesses that are already successful. That's where your money can make good returns handled by smart, experienced people. So, what we learn is that being truly good with money isn't just about making and growing your own cash. It's also about being careful and smart enough to protect it, even when people you love really need help. Because helping a friend badly isn't kind. It usually just leads to both of you feeling bad later. Remember Mathon's words, they're a good guide when dealing with friends, family, and money.
Better a little caution than a great regret. If you keep this in mind, your generosity will actually help. You won't accidentally cause new problems for yourself or the people you're trying to lift up.
We've all heard that saying, better safe than sorry. It's true. It helps us protect our money, what we've worked hard to get. But what about getting more money in the first place? Being careful helps you keep what you have, but it doesn't make you more money. It doesn't fill your wallet up again when it's empty. For that, you have to look at yourself. You have this amazing power inside you, your own potential. So, this brings us to a really important secret. It's from old Babylon. It's the seventh and final way to fix an empty wallet. You have to get better at earning money. This idea opens up a lot of possibilities. It means the best gold mine isn't underground. It's you and how much you work on yourself. Think about Arcad, this old wise guy, talking to his students. He didn't talk about stocks or budgets. He talked about them, about the people there and what was in their heads that helped or hurt them. He told a story about a young man who wanted to borrow money. The guy said he just didn't make enough to cover his costs. Arcad's answer was straight to the point, and it still makes sense today. Kid, you need to make more money. What are you doing to get better at earning? This isn't just about asking for more pay. No, it's about changing yourself from the inside. It's about growing your skills. Arcad said you need desire before you can achieve something. Not just a general wish. You need strong, clear desires. Just wanting to be rich isn't enough. But wanting exactly 5 pieces of gold? That's real. You can work toward that. And by going after that small goal, you get better. You learn how to get 10 pieces, then 20, then 1,000. So your money grows. A little at first, then a lot. All because you learn and get better at what you do. Remember Arcad himself? He started as just a scribe, writing on clay tablets. He saw other people making more money, so he decided he wouldn't let anyone be better than him. His secret? He said, I got more interested in my work. I focused harder. I kept trying. Soon, hardly anyone could carve more tablets than me in a day, and my boss noticed pretty quickly. I didn't even have to beg for a raise. See, it wasn't about who he knew or being lucky, it was about getting really good at his job. This idea pops up again and again in all the success stories from Babylon. Like Dabasir, the camel trader. He used to be a slave. He escaped and built his life back up. It wasn't luck. He was super determined to learn, to work, to get really good with camels, and then good at trading. His story proves, if you're determined, you'll find a way. He worked on himself, not just his body, but his mind too. He learned from things and became a better person. Arcad taught that the smarter you get, the more money you can make. He pushed everyone to always learn. If you make things, learn from the best. If you're a lawyer or a healer, talk to others in your field and share ideas. If you're a merchant, always look for better stuff at cheaper prices. It's not just about knowing facts. It's about understanding things, making good judgments, and knowing how to use that to be more valuable. Here's the really important part, what makes the most successful people different. Things always change and get better because smart people try to get better at what they do. They want to serve their customers better, so I tell everyone to stay ahead. Don't stop learning, or you'll get left behind. Did you catch that? Stay at the front of progress. It means you can't just learn something once and use it for the rest of your life. Things are always changing, always getting better. To do well, you have to keep learning, changing, and making your skills better. This constant drive to get better, to learn more and be smarter, that's what truly makes you successful. It also builds serious confidence in you. It helps you get what you really want. So, this is the big takeaway, the main solution for an empty wallet. You have to truly commit to working on yourself. Learn more, get smarter,
Become better at what you do. Act in a way that makes you respect yourself. When you do this, you don't just stack up money. You become the kind of person who deserves it, who attracts it. You become a source of real wealth. It's not magic, it's just mastering yourself. It's an old secret from Babylon, and it's just as true and important today as it was way back then.
So, there's a big truth we learn. It comes from real life, like what people in old Babylon knew. Things like getting better at what you do, learning stuff, and respecting yourself. These aren't just ideas. No, they're real. And you see them most clearly when you work. Doing a good job at something really shows how much you can control yourself. It helps build your character and makes you the kind of person who gets lots of good things. Maybe people don't understand it, but work is your most loyal friend when you want to do well in life. Think about Megiddo, a wise farmer. He once said, "Work is the best friend I've ever known. It has brought me all the good things I've had, my farm and cows and crops, everything." This simple thing he said is actually really important. It shows work isn't just something you have to do, it's something that gives you respect and good stuff back. Or take Dabasir, the camel trader. He was a young guy who was super irresponsible, always in debt, and felt sorry for himself. He lost everything, even his freedom. He got sold as a slave in Syria. He was at rock bottom, feeling terrible about himself. Then, Sira, his master's wife, said something really tough. It totally woke him up and changed his life. She basically asked him, "How can you call yourself a free man when your weakness has brought you to this? If a man has in himself the soul of a slave, will he not become one no matter what his birth? If a man has within him the soul of a free man, will he not become respected and honored in his own city in spite of his misfortune?" That question made Dabasir really look at himself. He used to blame bad luck for his problems. But Sira told him the real reasons. He wasn't disciplined, and he ran away from his duties. She just flat out said, "Thy debts are thine enemies who have run thee out of Babylon." And just like that, something clicked for him. He stopped seeing things through rose-colored glasses and saw them for what they really were. He decided he wouldn't be a slave anymore, whining and helpless. He felt, "Within me surged the soul of a free man going back to conquer his enemies and reward his friends." This strong, clear desire took over. It was a determination that wouldn't let him make excuses or give up. His trip back to Babylon was really tough, but it showed how much he'd changed. He arrived weak, but he had a strong goal. He faced his creditors. He didn't make excuses. Instead, he had a simple plan to pay them back, bit by working hard. He started as a camel tender, then became a baker. Each morning he'd bake honey cakes, and each afternoon he'd sell them in the busy streets of Babylon. Every penny he earned, every small win, felt like a victory over the despair that used to eat at him. He just kept at it, committed to doing his job well, no matter how small it seemed. That's what saved him. Megiddo was right about Dabasir. His work made him a better man. It rebuilt his confidence bit by bit, like how the walls of Babylon were built. His old creditors, who used to hate him, now respected him and even called him a friend. He could hold his head up high again, standing tall as an honorable man among men. This big truth also comes from Arkad's wisdom. He taught that you need desire before you accomplish anything. Your desires need to be strong and clear. It's not enough to just kinda wish for money or success. No. Like Dabasir, we need a clear picture of what we want to do. Then we need to go after it with everything we've got. And that's where hard-focused work is super important. Later, we hear about Arid Gula, Hadan Gula's grandfather. Sharunada said he had a secret key to making money. But the secret wasn't a treasure map or some magic spell. It was how much Arad Gula loved his work. The gods saw his effort and rewarded him liberally. Hadan Gula first brushed it off, thinking work was made for slaves. But then he really got it. He realized after hearing Dabasir's story from Sharunada that work attracted his many friends who admired his industry and the success it brought. Work brought him the honors he enjoyed so much in Damascus. Work brought him all those things I have approved. And I thought, work was fit only for slaves. Wow, what a discovery. Work isn't bad. It's actually good. It's how you build confidence, find success, and earn respect.
When you keep working hard towards a clear goal, that's what makes normal things amazing. So, listen. Let this old secret from Babylon motivate you. Do your work, whatever it is. Do it well and do it on purpose. Because when you do, you're not just doing tasks, you're getting stronger, getting better at things, and building that soul of a free man inside you. You'll get more than just money. You'll get confidence, success, and real respect from yourself and other people. This way of life, shown by old Babylon wisdom, doesn't just give you a full wallet. It gives you a life full of meaning, happiness, and real richness. Sharonada reminds us, life is rich with many pleasures for men to enjoy. Many things do I enjoy, but nothing takes the place of work. And that's really true.